clear that the guide is not a practice model. It's not, you won't see forms.
Parent representation looks like pretty much like good quality lawyering for any client. So
The American Bar Association Center on Children and the Law Health Program has been working on primarily
This project works by reducing the amount of time children spend in foster care by either having them go.
Family State Law and Policy Resource Center is a collaboration between the American Bar Association, Generation.
Legal Center for Foster Care and Education was a project
that we emphasize is that attorneys and judges can really make it.
I'm very pleased that the Center on Children and the Law has had an impact on safety and well-being issues as well as permanency issues for children in foster care, and we've been able to do that because we have this incredible staff of experts, lawyers who have experience as practitioners and who have been working with lawyers and judges and court systems on these very issues. So, for example, on child safety, we've done incredible work through the publication on child safety for judges that my colleague Jennifer Rennie has done and trained all over the country on it. On child well-being, several of our center staff have done tremendous work on issues that relate to health, kinship care, and a variety of other issues that affect the health and education area. That children who are in foster care need to thrive. They need to come out of the system better off than when they went into the system. That is absolutely key. We are not doing our job in the child welfare system if children don't come out better off, not worse off. Better off, because remember, they've been abused, neglected, or abandoned. That got them in the system in the first place for the most part. And we need to make sure that our laws and our courts are operating in such a way that they do indeed have those safety and well-being needs met. Well, from the very beginning, the Center on Children and the Law at the ABA has been focused on improving the lives of children through advancements in law, justice, public policy, and knowledge. So we take our constituency very seriously. That is, the lawyers who are involved in child welfare work, the judges, and the caseworkers, the other professionals who are not lawyers but need to understand how to work within the justice system effectively on behalf of children. So everything we have done over the past 33 years has focused on some aspect of safety, permanency, and well-being for children who enter the foster care system. And we probably have written over 50, maybe 75 books on topics related to the better protection of children who have been abused and neglected. And I like to think that to this day we are an important resource for the rest of the country. I think where all our work on permanency, safety, and well-being comes together is our impact on lawyers who are appointed by the courts to represent children and parents in child protection cases, as well as the attorneys who represent the child welfare agency in those cases. All of the attorneys, we're talking about 3 different attorneys, need to play an active role in making sure that the children and their families are getting the services that they need. So I consider the work of the Center on Children and Law to be equally focused on the representation of child welfare agencies, the representation of parents, and the representation of children. Because if any one of those areas of legal representation falters, then children and their parents can suffer. So that's where it all comes together. The lawyers on the ground, who are our primary constituency, who need to do a better job on addressing safety, permanency, and well-being issues. We hear from lawyers across the country at the Center on Children and the Law all the time through our listservs, through phone calls that we receive, through live training that we do. And I know, based upon the contacts that we have with lawyers and judges all over the country, that we make an impact on cases through better education, through providing the skills that lawyers and judges need to handle these cases more effectively, to have the right kind of materials accessible, to have checklists and guidelines and other resources that can make sure that those who work in the legal and judicial process are doing their jobs effectively. So I consider what we do to have that direct impact on the cases of children and their families. I think so much of our work today at the Center on Children and the Law is focused on safety and well-being of children, and it's important for those who are interested in understanding the work of the Center on Children and the Law to know that our work on permanency for children has been highly influential, going way back to 1980 when the first major federal law on child welfare was enacted, and we provided some of the first educational material to guide lawyers and judges on implementation of what's called Title 4B and 4E of the Social Security Act, to assure that children didn't languish unnecessarily in foster care, to assure that agencies were making diligent efforts to find adoptive homes for children in foster care, or to reunify children in foster care. Ideally, that's the first preference, reunification, but if that's not possible, adoption or legal guardianship. And from the very beginning of federal involvement in the courts and the child welfare system, the Center on Children and Law has played a key role in making sure that children find permanence in as timely a way as possible.